in Chicago, the Chai Commons worker co-op, and there's sort of hybrid co-op. They're they've been working on a map of the solidarity economy here as well, and I think they're trying to figure out how to standardize some of this data so that it's useful for multiple purposes for multiple organizations. I hope it all works out, you know, and people it's like it's really hard to make like technological shifts or like if they're different softwares, it's hard to make those shifts. But yeah, that whole standardization seems pretty cool if we're able to pull that off, because there's so much data out there that we don't know of. And then I think, was it Jim recently, he said that a lot of this data is like a holy grail for a lot of co-ops. Because supposedly a lot of funding comes from data, and I feel like there's this implied argument that worker co-ops and co-ops do so much good in communities, but because there's not data to show that, they don't get the funding that they deserve. So yeah, all the data, before I never really thought about data and it didn't really attract me, but now I'm realizing, yeah, this stuff might be really, really important, and to complement the relationships, the in-person relationships.
Yeah, and then the data about worker co-ops is going to be maybe different than some of the other data about like businesses. So the more information we have, the better we can sort of tell a story. Like I know one thing that's come up for me looking for grants for MadWorc is like a lot of the like economic development grants are very like career development focused, right? Like how many individuals will have more career skills as a result of your project? And that's not really what worker co-ops do, right? The goal isn't like, let's get 12 people per 8-week cohort into jobs. The goal is like, let's create jobs that are like worker controlled in worker owned businesses that create like sustainable businesses that aren't going to leave the communities, that are going to contribute back to the communities. So it's sort of like a lot of different information kind of comes together, right? Like there's like that statistic about how much of a dollar spent locally stays local versus like a dollar spent at like a, you know, retail chain that's not local, and how much of that goes away. So like that's a relevant piece of data, but then like making the connection to why it's also relevant to fund the job development of people. Like it's just a lot of like, the more information there is, the more you can sort of like tell the story of why this is important, because it's not something that a lot of people are familiar with. And so being able to show like, you know, no, we didn't create like 14 individuals with like coding skills, but we created like, you know, 6 more sustainable businesses that aren't going to leave the community and that are going to aim to pay a living wage, because the people deciding about wages are the people making those wages. Yeah, the data piece is really interesting. And I also wish there was more data available. And I think some of it may exist. Like I know that the Federation of Worker Co-ops had a presentation on data at their member meeting, and it sounds like there may be more data than is always published easily, but it's not clear like how to get it or even what it is. But it's hard because it's like, I want to collect data here, but I don't want to like duplicate efforts. And I think that's a big thing with the Solidarity Fund as well, is like, we don't want to duplicate efforts. We don't want to like compete with anybody. We also don't want to like put more energy into something that already exists when we could just like put our energy into the thing that already exists. Which I think is really different in a cooperative realm than in a like traditional capitalist realm, that like data isn't proprietary here. Like it's not like, you know, we need to do a study and someone else needs to do a study and like then we each have our own data. It's like, no, we want the data to be like available to all of us, because it's all of our information.